And we're live. Hello, everybody. Hello. So I've just got Josh here. And just before we start, if anyone wants to drop us any comments in, please drop some comments or ask questions as we go through. We'd love to hear your feedback. Also, just at the top of StreamYard, before you put a comment, in the top should be just above in the comments above. If you give StreamYard permission, so then when you answer a question, we know who it is, because we'd love to see who we're speaking to and see you guys. So if you'd like to put any comments or ask questions or anything as we go through. So a lot of this is really hot off the press. And before we get into talking about what the big weekend and all that's about, I just really want a warm welcome to Josh. For any of you guys out there that don't know, he is my brother. He's been supporting us with Polly, well, pretty much since she was very little anyway. And he's also now part of the Credu team. So warm welcome to Josh. And do you just want to introduce yourself a little bit more, Josh?
Yeah, so like Mandy said, I'm her brother, and I've been a carer for, wow, it's been a while now. I've stopped counting the days and whatnot. It's been over a year, and since I've been with Mandy helping as a carer with her daughter who's got complex needs, over the past 6 months, I've been given the job opportunity through a program called Rank Aspire to basically be an outdoor community, a community outdoor developer. So I'm developing local area opportunities for people to get involved within the outdoors. And so the Credu Big Weekend has been one of those opportunities that I've been helping to get involved with to hopefully develop the outdoors for people that are trying to access the outdoors that might not be able to necessarily be able to do so. And so it's really either working with communities to develop and talk to them about improving local sports and really make sure that they're doing everything they can to make sure that it's successful, or if it's not able to be done, then really taking that on board myself. And so it's been hard over the last 6 months because COVID has prevented a lot of the development of what I've wanted to do. But now coming into the next 6 months of my job role, I'm also, as well as the big weekend, hoping to set up in the local area of Clonutted, Bilf and Clundrin Dodd, a archery club that will hopefully be accessible to everyone. But most of what I'm going to be talking about today is more going to revolve around the big weekend, because I think it's a big thing that a lot of carers and their families can get involved in.
Oh, that's lovely. You've really added, just going back to what you were saying about your job, Josh, it's been really difficult for you to be able to do a lot of the outdoor stuff, isn't it? Because you haven't been able to get on a lot of the courses or just get out and about really like you would have liked to. But I think it's just a sign of the times a bit, really, isn't it?
Well, exactly. Over the past 6 months, I've been battling just to do some of the more simpler sides of courses for the outdoors, the things that you don't necessarily think about when it comes to the outdoors. Before you can even do the courses, you need to hold some sort of first aid of some sorts, and I've only recently done that just the week that's just gone. And so that's been the first instance where I've made developments towards actually being able to develop something within the outdoors. And it's not necessarily the fault of the people that I've been communicating within the outdoors, because they've been just as confused as what I have been with all the information. But over the last, I'd say, month and a bit now, I've been in contact with a lot of people that are in the outdoors, and it's like the coal engine started again.
It's happening quite quick as well for you, isn't it? It's like it's felt like nothing's happened for a long time, and all of a sudden lots of doors seem to be opening for you, don't they?
I'm overwhelmed with the amount that it's like the past 6 months I've really been struggling to get hold of these people. And then, for instance, just waking up today, the amount of emails that I wake up to with people that want to now get in contact to do things, and I'm unfortunately going to have to go to a few of them and say sorry. I've got to really prioritize what I think is important for the local local communities in terms of sports development.
I think that's why you got involved with the big weekend a bit, really, wasn't it? Because you were struggling to make connections in COVID around your outdoors, wasn't it? Really, it just seemed to really align with some of the things you wanted to do. So anyway, tell us about this big weekend. It's really exciting and loads of stuff hot off the press today.
Yeah, so this might be for a lot of people if you're watching this with us. For a lot of people, this might be the first time you'll actually be hearing about the big weekend. There's been whispers and stuff about the Credi something potentially doing something. People might have heard about it, but so the Credi big weekend is going to be taking place on the 31st of July, and so it's going to be a Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and it's going to be for the carers and their families as a form of respite to get away and a break, to share this experience not just for themselves but to share it with like-minded people where they can find support and respite, but also a bit of relief from what's been a very off year, and hopefully it'll be an opportunity for everyone to experience getting together again for the first time and doing something together. And so
Yeah,
yeah,
I
so
sort of think a lot of people are a bit worried about sort of. I know the carers I speak to, they're sort of like really excited and want to get together and do things. But also, I think, like most of us, COVID's in the back of our mind, isn't it, really? How will we go? How's Credi sort of going about sort of like thinking about COVID moving forward? I know Credi send weekly bulletins to us personally as Credi members about where we are in COVID, but what's that going to look like, do you think, when it comes to sort of the big weekend?
yeah, so this is why it's taken us so long to actually get to people with what we're going to do, because not only have we had to think about how we're going to make it safe, but where is going to be most appropriate for everyone. So not just thinking about COVID in general, but where's going to be a good place for everyone to feel comfortable as well. And
Because
so
I think the
just really
venue,
to
wasn't
nail
it?
down,
The
it was the
venue,
venue,
wasn't it?
yeah.
Was a big. There was lots of reasons why people wanted to have it certain places, and then I think there was a few different things on the table, and I think you sort of like, I think one sort of like kept coming back, didn't it? Tell us a bit more about that, Josh.
Um, so yeah, so there's been various different venues, and it was really trying to nail down. Every time we come together is a bit like, oh, does this feel right? Does it feel good? We unfortunately we had to say, because one venue couldn't quite get back to us, and that wasn't anything to do with them. Again, it was a COVID situation where they couldn't confirm. But what we wanted to do is we want to try and nail down something where we could start planning something so we could get something then going for everyone. And so it was really trying to find a place that was happy to do that. And we had a few places that are quite happy to work with us on that. But then it was thinking, well, does this really show respite for carers? Does this scream a break? And if it didn't fulfill those things, and so we had a lot of what seemed like head banging to really nail it down. But now, yeah, we finally got to it, and we've found a venue. And so the venue is going to be the Brunarian. It's the Brunarian Lodge in Brunarian.
Lovely.
For anyone that doesn't know, it's currently not, but was a form of outdoor pursuits in the local area
Right.
for the Girl Scouts. And not, it's not called the Girl Scouts, but that's it. I don't know. They call it the Brownies.
Yeah. Um,
Yeah,
brownies, yeah.
it's the
So
equivalent
yeah,
to the Scouts,
brownies.
though.
Yeah.
But yeah, but it's the equivalent, and so yeah,
Whereabouts is it, Josh? Whereabouts is Bruneri on?
Brunel. Oh, that's
Is it
so
is it
um
sort of Newport way? Am I right in thinking? Or
It's so from us, so we're looking like the Bilf area. So we're going up north, closer towards Newtown, but it's not Newtown.
yeah.
It's like you're going towards Bala. If anyone knows Bala Lake, those sorts of area. You're almost going that sort of direction from Bilf, if you're
Right.
looking in and around that area.
Brilliant.
It's
Just give
yeah,
us nice where it is, isn't it? So people get an idea of.
it's
So
about an
what was
hour.
it? What was it that appealed to this place then more than anywhere else? What did it have
Well,
to offer
originally
them?
I didn't know. I didn't even know it existed. Because working in the outdoors and being an outdoor instructor before this, I had a good gauge of these places. But actually, it's a really small place that Credi had been to before, for breaks away for the staff. And so we had the likes of Marilyn, one of our trustees, had been there before and had breaks away, and was just come to a meeting one day and said, has anyone checked in on Brunarian? And so we went, no, but that's a really, really good shout. And I was like, where is this place? And so I sort of like took the bullet really and was like, you know what, let's give it a try. Let's go have a look. So I sort of put my hand forward and said, I'm going to go check it out and I'm going to see what it's all about. And so me, Sally, and Ducks from Credu all went up there. And they'd already been before, so they already knew it. They would go around showing me everything. And there was me just like seeing everything for the first time. It was just like wow in every room. And it was
kid in a sweet shop.
yeah, it was because it was a lot like, and the way I describe it, it's like going to a mansion that's it's got lots of nice features in, and it shouts a lot of like really big manor type place, but at the same time it had every room had like it was like a family room, or it is very well decorated, and it just every different room had a unique twist on it. And so it didn't say to me that it was an outdoor pursuits accommodation. It was much more of a family. I could see it being very good for families to just relax in different rooms.
So it sounds like it could appeal to a lot of people, really, especially in the caring role, as something that's really quite like a nice breakaway.
Yeah, and some of the rooms, so you had some of these really large rooms that would be really good for sitting in together. But then you also had these really nice little rooms that were like almost. It's hard to describe how they were, but they were like nice library sections where you could sit and chill and read a book. But there's like projector rooms where you have a film night and all sorts. There's a huge amount for on the outside. It didn't look as big as it does on the inside because there's lots of like nooks and crannies. It's like has like secret hidden places of bookshelves and everything. I'm
just going to put you on the main screen, Josh, because you've got lots to tell us there, haven't you? I'm just going to put you on the big screen and just let you just go through some of the really exciting stuff that you've got on your page. And then I'll come back to the bigger screen in a minute. All right?
No worries.
See if I can do my techno stuff.
Yeah. So going around the hotel, we've got a really nice outdoor section. So you got the really nice indoor manor-y type. What I say is it's like a family manor house. It's like you could have a family in each and every room, and it's one big manor. So you have this, and then on the outside there's a really nice outdoor pursuits area. It's like a really nice garden, and then in and around all these areas, because it is an outdoor pursuits, it has activities such as an obstacle course, a blind trail, and then there's also going to be the opportunities for a nature trail, campfire. They have a football pitch, and they're all hidden. So when I first went onto this site, you don't even see these places that in and about the whole place. There's this football field that has these wooden sides to it with basketball hoops on. And then in and around all these areas, because they're currently not running it. So what we're going to have is Credu and our members come and we're going to fill in all the gaps with what we want to do, and we're going to be like, right, everyone come for the day, and we're going to be running. So one of them is the bouldering. So for anyone that doesn't know what bouldering is, it's kind of like climbing, except for you have a wall with a load of holes on in front of you. And the task is you've got different routes on a wall. And as you're going round, you've got to try and plan out your route and get from one side of the wall all the way across the other. So you're not actually climbing up, so you're in no danger of falling or anything. It's much more of a challenge-based system where you go from one side to the other. So there's going to be lots of activities like that. And so as we're running these activities, we're hoping to have a lot more. It's not just going to be activities. We're going to be having what would almost be similar to what happens at the Royal Welsh, where people come, set up their stalls, and they then they have like things that you can do within the stalls. And we're currently still in the process of taking on if there's anyone in the local area or local businesses that are interested in coming and setting up a stall and bringing something. The only thing is if you there is a little bit of a catch. If you bring something, or you want to store something like that, you have to bring something that you can do for free as an activity of some sorts. Other than that, there's going to be there's still talks around how it's going to be done, but there'll be a sort of like price on. It'll be like, if you earn so much, we take a cut of the take-ins and things like that. But we're much more looking towards the free side of things. If you're bringing something, it needs to be something you can do for free for everyone that the carers can do. Yeah. There's going to be I'm going to try and describe some of the other things and try and capture so that people can really get a sense of what's going on. There's also going to be catering. We're going to have external caterers coming in. With this as well, we've already got our catering team that will have him, and there's going to be opportunities for young people in the local area, if they're interested, to come and do work experience. And so if they're interested in doing that, to let us know if there is anyone that's interested, and we can hopefully maybe look at getting people involved with that side of things. And we've also got so we're having an indoor area that people can stay in, but there's also a field that's nearby as well that we've managed to use for camping. So there's going to be a camp out option, or you can book to stay and have a bed and breakfast at the lodge. But there's sort of like a priority system with that. So
is there limited numbers? Is there of how many people we can have there to make it COVID safe?
Yeah, we've not released the ticket. There will be tickets for it, but we've not released them yet. So you need to keep a close eye on when those go live.
What will that look like, Josh? Do you think, is that going to go? Is it going to be emails to people? Is it going to be put on? Do we know much about that yet, or is it
not
still...
quite yet? It's sort of like there'll be a big mailing system, I'm sure, and all that, so people will be informed when it does come out.
So either emails through carers that through Credu, or if anyone's interested, they could perhaps get in touch with Credu on one of the Credu sites or Facebook, or...
But there will be a limited number of them, just because it's gonna, there's only so many spaces, and COVID and all that. There's only a limited number of spaces that we can have in.
Well, I think Credu wanted to go ahead, didn't they? Because also, I think it's something that they perhaps might like to do again, and I just think they wanted to offer something this year, even if it was really small, just so as it just gives that little bit of hope for carers.
Yeah. We just wanted to get going, really, and this is where we've had a lot of internal opportunities for people to bring something that they've got, and I've touched on some of the activities that are going to be run, but it's not all. There's hopefully something for everyone, I'd like to think. So we've got crafting that's being run. We're also having in the indoor rooms a well-being and mindfulness room, and the list goes on. Like, we've still got opportunity of things that are hopefully going to be run, but we can't confirm they are going to be there yet. So one instance of this is this week I'm going away to hopefully get involved with a place called Cycling for All in Wrexham, and inviting them. They have these amazing bikes that are for those with mobility issues, and so if we can get involved with having a local cycling activity around Brunarian as well, that'd be really exciting to see. Something that you might not see very locally.
Sounds like lots of opportunities for people to get involved in lots of different ways, either volunteering, skills sharing. I love that idea as a carer, because as a carer you often feel like you've got nothing to give, but I like crafting, and some people perhaps might like to support looking after the children, or might like to help with the food. And I heard you said that there's an opportunity for work experience for people on the catering side, which is just amazing opportunities for people, and just bringing carers together.
Yeah, so there's a number of opportunities. I've touched on a couple of them. So you've got the work experience with the catering crew, and then we've also got the volunteering aspect on the day. So if anyone wants to help out with something on the day, volunteering with say, for instance, because we've got stewards, we're going to have volunteers that are going to doing the student and everything, and just organising everyone, and making sure that people know where they're going. But also, we're going to have people that are just going to be just doing meeting and greeting, and just being friendly. So everyone will have a role. But if people are wanting to get involved, to let us know, really, if it's something that interests you and you want to help out in some sort of way, just let us know, and we can find a spot that you can help with, because we're still looking into to fill in all these spots.
Because there's regular
get-togethers,
isn't there? I mean, this has been ongoing, hasn't it? And I think every couple of weeks now there's meetings just starting to try and organise that, and I should imagine it'll probably ramp up a little bit more as it goes on. But it sounds like there's opportunities for people to perhaps get on board with some of that.
Yeah, there's opportunities at the event that's being running, and there's also opportunities beforehand that you can get involved with. So if you are not feeling like turning up to the event, but you want to take part in some form, so you want to be part of the big weekend, we've also got so currently this is something new, and this is literally just been told today. We've now got a Just Giving page for the Credu's big weekend.
Oh, that's brilliant.
And so what people can do is get involved, and in conjunction with this, we've got the Credu's big camp out. So people that are wanting to get involved and be part of it, instead of turning up to the big weekend, they can do a big camp out in their garden. But the information for that, I can't tell you everything, because that's still yet to be told. So this is sort of an exclusive for it. But
yeah, I think it took so long, didn't it, to sort of decide on a place, because it was really important, and things have changed so much in COVID. It almost feels a little bit last minute, but it can't have been any other way, really, because COVID didn't really give the opportunity, did it?
It was tough, and we've really made a lot of headway since actually deciding, because it was only a couple of months ago that we'd actually nailed that down, and we said, right, we're doing it here. And in that space of time, we've managed to get together, organise what people are doing. There are still spots for what we could be doing, but we've organised camping activities that are going to be done. Not just indoor, but outdoor activities as well. We've also had to do all sorts of risk assessments, because we can't use the risk assessments they've got, because it is for outdoor pursuits. But we've done a lot of that, and all of this information has been taken in a small amount of time. But that's really credit got involved, because everyone's so passionate and wanted to go ahead, that we're really like, let's get down, let's nail down and do this together.
5 minutes. He's been really helpful today. My little boy, give me a hand.
Stuff that people can get involved with. We're also currently looking for, if there's anyone that's got some sort of food van in the local area that wants to get involved and bring a food van for people to have food down at the camping site or on the local site for the day. We're still looking for those, so if there's anyone that's interested in that as well, that's something that would be really helpful to get involved with, that we're still looking at currently.
Wow, so much. We could go on and on, couldn't we, Josh? It's so exciting.
There's so much, and like I said, this is only just an exclusive and a small snippet of what's going on, because we've still got more to come, because we're now in the fundraising section of everything, and getting everything together. And so if people want to get involved with that, that's a really big one, and there'll be more information on that very shortly.
I think, Marie, back when I started my Credu journey, I think we were going to have a trip to Brunerion, a little bit similar to this, but quite a lot different as well, along the skills sharing. And literally, I think a few weeks before we were due to go, COVID hit and just totally just blew out the water. So it's really exciting to still see, because it's so much organising and sorting, isn't it? You could just almost think, oh, it's just easier just not to do it. But I think what this gives people, and carers especially, I feel it myself, is hope of the other side. Yeah, it's not perhaps where we'd like to be, but at least it's a little step. And then perhaps if it's, I can't see why it wouldn't be brilliant. It would be nice to work towards then the next year, isn't it? To start small, really.
Yeah, and I think with the whole hope side of things and everything, it comes back to that COVID. Is it COVID safe and all that stuff, and quite a lot of the stuff that we're looking around, because we're constantly, guidance is always changing, but what we're doing is we're looking to the, well, let's plan as if things don't change for now, so that we can still make it go ahead. So it's stuff like all the staff and stuff there. So the indoor sections, we're gonna have stations of hand sanitizer, and there will be things in place where there'll be systems where it'll be a one in, one out kind of system, and that'll be monitored. That's why we're gonna have the stewards and staff, so they're all gonna be helping with that. And it's not just the stuff that's being done indoors; it'll be the stuff that's run outdoors as well. So anything from when you're parking your car and stuff like that, you're going to have people assisting you and helping you to do that, and telling you when you can come through, and all that stuff. It's not going to be like super serious and head on. It's not going to be a stressful situation. It's literally these people are going to be there to help you, just so you can get in and around, and hopefully it should feel somewhat normal to what might be what I describe a much quieter experience than what you might get at the Royal Welsh, which can be a really nice but really carnage. So
I think it's really important for carers as well. I don't know about you, Josh, but I think for anybody actually now, mental health and well-being is almost overtaking in some respects the fear of COVID, because the mental health is almost, it's sort of swung a little bit, really. Everyone's still really mindful of COVID, but it's really important to look after your mental health as well. And I just see this as really supporting in a really positive way, trying to make small steps to get back to what normal is, isn't it?
Yeah, so that's why there's a real big emphasis now about well-being and mindfulness. And that's why we're having a big emphasis on while we're there, there's going to be a well-being and mindfulness place, and it'll be an opportunity for carers really to come and talk about, you know, what it is to them, and really just tell us what's been happening with them and how things are going, really. And giving, I think
there's nothing more magic, is there, than when you bring carers together, and the magic that they bring, when the support and the magic and the, you know, a lot you can't change, but I just think it's I can't quite put the word. It's just really lovely to see carers come together and almost create their own change in a way.
Yeah, the people that you'd almost consider to have the most busy and the most on their plates are often the first to put their hand up to say, I want to get involved with this. And this is what we're seeing. We're seeing a lot of people putting their hands up that are already quite busy, but they're not doing it, you know, for the reason that, you know, they're doing it quite a lot because it helps them to feel good, and there's a lot of a feel good factor around that. And so sometimes the help that they give helps them themselves, and it's a really interesting thought process that, you know, the people that are the most
busiest give the most help. Yeah, I get that. Yeah, I totally get that. Yeah. Is there anything else you'd like to add, Josh? Is there anything more?
No, just really, if there are people that are interested in any parts of what I spoke about today, to get in contact with us, really, and get in contact with the Credu team. So I think, is it a phone number? You will try and drop a phone number, an email. I think Credu are on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram now. Yeah. Or there's the email, the Credu email, the Credu phone number. So yeah, I don't know if there's anything left out there. We're just going to drop them in the links below afterwards. So if anyone wanted to get in contact with me or Josh or the Credu team, Yeah, and make sure everyone's staying up to date with the Credi Facebook, Instagram, and all that, because all the information will be posted on there. So make sure that you are following and liking, and make sure that if you're on your Instagram as well, that you're following that as well, because that's where all the information, when it does happen, it'll be all over. It'll sort of like come all in one wave. So yeah. Make
And
sure
Credu have
that you.
just had a revamp as well of their website, haven't they? It looks really funky and fab. I just went on it before we come on. But the internet, I don't think here is quite good enough to be able to bring it up and show you guys. So we'll just hang on in there with our internet. But it looks, yeah, it's definitely worth checking it out. The websites, and there's lots of good information on there, and they're really great with that. If you're on the Credi mailing list, they're really great at getting the information out to the carers that's on their books.
Yeah, and that's credit to Eve and Kevin, because they've really
it's a big job. It's a lot of work, you know.
They've been at the front most of that, and they've really got that. Yeah, they've done it real good justice, and it looks really nice. And yeah, and they're very active on there as well. And
I post something on
medias.
Instagram, and it's literally like they pick it up straight away. They're answering. I've even noticed that on Instagram they're even working on Saturdays and Sundays, you know.
Yeah, between the two of them. Yeah, they're
I
crazy.
don't know how they do it.
Yeah, and they're like you said, it's not just with the site as well, because they're also doing the newsletters, they're doing the promoting and promotions, and they're also doing the fundraising, and they're just
got some
crazy.
really good. They've got some really good stuff coming up at the moment. I can't say what it is, but just watch this space, because they've got some. Credi have got some amazing stuff coming out, and I just don't want to do a spoiler alert for you guys, but just keep watching. There's some amazing things coming up with Credi.
Yeah, and there's going to be something for everyone in there.
Yeah,
hopefully. Which would be nice, but we won't say no more, because I don't. Yeah, we don't.
We don't want to do a spoiler alert.
No.
Well, thank you so much, Josh, for coming on and joining me today. Hopefully, it hasn't been too bad for you, and you might want to come on and join us again.
Yeah, definitely.
And just for anybody that
more information soon.
Yeah. And just for anybody that didn't know, Josh is very much an active part of the Bubble Hub as well. So it is really nice to get him on. He has so many hats he wears. He's so brilliant.
Chief facilitator.
Yeah. So yeah, he's definitely a valued member of our amazing Bubble Hub team. So thank you so much, Josh, for coming on.
No worries. Thank you very much.
And thank you all for joining us. Yeah. I'll speak to you all soon.